Dylan, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for joining me this morning.
No, that's all right, mate. That's
Plenty
perfect.
happening down your way.
Sorry?
Plenty happening down your way.
Absolutely flat out, mate.
Well, that's good. That's better than you saying you haven't had any work for 6 months. I'd be worried if that was the case.
Yeah, that's right. It's just that the weather at the minute's sort of holding us up a fair bit.
Yeah. The reason I got given this demo is I'm the son of a civil earthworks contractor. So
Yes.
I used to love it when it rained because it meant I got time to spend with my dad whenever it rained because he worked the entire time when it wasn't raining to make sure it covered for the days when he wasn't. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
It looks like it's raining. I can see out the window where the clock is there. It looks like a pretty bleak day outside. So yeah,
it is. It's pretty. It's meant to get even worse tomorrow and Thursday. So
right.
It's good couple of days to do a bit of maintenance and catch up on me emails and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Wait, well, I stung you at the right time by the looks of things. So
that's right.
That's all good. So yeah, basically my role is to go over with you, find what the benefits of ICN that will suit your business the most, talk to you about it and teach you how to use it, because we find the more people know how to use something, the more they'll use it. It's as simple as that. So you've obviously only new to the platform. I do this demonstration for people that have been on here for years. I do it for people that are suppliers like you. I also do it for the other side of the fence, like tendering bosses, procurement, project owners, all those kinds of things. So got a pretty clear indication of where to go with this. I've also helped specialist stabilizer companies, which you may know, which we'll get into in a bit, on how ICN works as well, and I'll teach you how to get in ahead of them. So just before we kick off, is there anything in particular that you want to make sure I cover off as part of today's demo for you, or you don't really know what to expect?
I don't really know what to expect, but yeah, this sort of how the platform works, really.
Yeah. I won't show you everything I know about ICN. Obviously, we'd be here all day and you'd get no maintenance done on your machines, and
That's
B,
right.
you'd be like, please shut up. After a while, there's so much outside information, but I'll really direct this call today. I know your time's important, so I want to make sure it's all relevant.
Perfect.
If you've got any questions throughout today, just make sure you stop and ask. I've got a wife and 2 kids, mate, so don't be afraid about cutting me off. It happens my whole life. It's just as simple as that. But we'll get into it. That's pretty interesting. I've done a bit of research into your business this morning, had a bit of a look over where I think I can help you guys. But what really drew you to ICN as a platform to start using?
I've seen an expression of interest because we hold a subscription with Tender Search. And a John Holland expression of interest came out, and I thought, oh, I'll just have a quick look at the tender docs and whatever, and then it brought up the ICN page. Said to register, so I just went, oh well, what's there to lose? Let's have a look, and just kept going, and then obviously that you rang, and it's sort of looking to move forward with that.
So do you currently do much project work at the moment, or how do you guys normally operate?
So we 90% of our works we're the primary contractor. We work, I'd say 95% of our work is for government bodies. Example, like VIC roads, regional roads, VIC, and I've got about 6 or 7 shires on that I am the preferred contractor, supplier. But we sort of do the whole lot. We project manage, we do the whole full service. Probably 5% of the time we get subbies in to give us a chop out or something we don't know. They'll get done quicker, obviously, and more efficient cost wise. But we sort of primary contract the whole contract.
That's cool. And it's like, you guys have been around for a while, but you're obviously built into a pretty powerhouse in what you're doing. So how did that all come about? Are you just extremely tenacious in business development, or what brought all that on?
Yes, to a degree, but I and my old man, who's a director as well, we
Yeah.
worked for Regional Roads Victoria.
Okay.
Then we went off to Fulton Hogan for a few years, sort of gathered that clientele, and then
perfect. Yeah.
seen that there was an opening because of the output of work that was there at hand's reach. We sort of went, well, I think it's our time to get a slice of the pie. You can't deliver it all yourself, which they can't.
Yeah.
And there was a huge opening there, and since day dot, we've been sort of flat out because we done that background check of getting the clients first, meeting the supervisors, doing all them, the little 1%ers, then moving into business.
Cool. I like talking to people like you. I talk to a lot of people that just expect work to arrive on their doorstep 24/7. It's good when I speak to guys like you, and obviously your old man, pretty tenacious in what you're doing, only been around for what, 4.5, 5 years as a business. Look like you're going all right. But ICN is obviously a bit of a gateway into the more government work. There is so much in happening. Even just for example, something outside that you may not have thought of is in the whole renewable section, the haul roads and everything got to be kept updated for all the like the wind turbine trucks and all of that. It's a fairly hectic process of getting a wind turbine up. So being involved in all of those kinds of sectors pretty cool. But yeah, I'll show you around the platform. We'll get into it. You've also got a fair bit of machinery. So are you guys always looking to expand with bigger and better machinery as you go, or? Yeah,
pretty much. So I like to have one machine per bloke. I don't like having 10 different blokes sitting in the one machine. So we're looking to acquire a grader in the next 2 to 3 months, and then move into our excavation side of things. And get a few excavators on song as well. There's a big opening this year with the budget that's out. It's about $40 million more than it was last year. So we're going to start up. We're wanting to start another crew. So probably 3 to 4 blokes, and work in that and get a bit of that pie, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like any part of $40 million, mate. I got to tell you, I'll be on a golf course somewhere with the weather like it is in Brisbane today, I can tell you. But yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, that sort of gives me a little bit of where to go, because if you're always looking to expand, there's a certain level that you sort of got to be at to be considered. And you know this from the Fulton Hogan side of things. The fact you've got all your ducks in a line, you've done the 1%ers to get where you are, makes my job a lot easier as well, because I don't have to wait for you to go back and revisit all that before we chat further, which is great. All right, what we'll do is quickly get into a bit of a demonstration. I'll ask you some more questions as we go along, but today's going to be a bit of an education, and then we can always speak further. But the ICN has obviously been around for a long time now. Apart from the tender search introduction, I suppose, did you ever know about ICN previously?
No, not at all.
Okay. Right. It's amazing the amount of people that don't really know about it. So what ICN is, it's the Australian Government Tendering and Expressions of Interest platform. Okay. ICN's been around for over 30 years. The reason it came up was to become a matchmaking service between project owners who couldn't find the right suppliers, and suppliers standing around seeing these projects happen and scratching their heads saying, well, why the hell can't I be part of that? Okay. Been an evolution over time. ICN started as a newsletter. Believe it or not, we're all older than the internet. I don't know about you. I don't know how old you are, but I'm certainly older than the internet. But it started off as a newsletter to go out to people to apply for expressions of interest and tender through the mail, pretty much. Then it obviously moved online. But we noticed a lot of businesses weren't really awarding work through tendering so much anymore. They wanted to find their own suppliers. So that's why we started the gateway side, which is the visibility side of ICN. You currently haven't got that, but there is another side to it, which is visibility, where people can log in and search and find suppliers that are capable of helping them out. And now, since then, we've realized a heap of businesses when they go to move into this bigger government project work, they don't really have the digital collateral behind them. Like you've got your website and stuff, but they don't have capability statements,
Yes.
Digital marketing, copywriting, all this kind of stuff that bigger companies expect when people are submitting tenders and stuff for them. So now we also help with that as well. So ICN is not for profit and government subsidized. So we do really excellent rates on all those digital services ahead. So you're not just getting into the free service, you're also getting a lot of other benefits by being an ICN member as well. So it's pretty cool to be a part of, to be honest. ICN obviously now provides a digital platform to list your capabilities and give you an online digital presence. The first part I'm going to talk to you a bit about here is some of the numbers and how big ICN is. It's a pretty busy screen. I just watched your eyes light up when you saw that $1 trillion at the top. I'm exactly the same. But you can, the main ones I focus on here for businesses like you, small to medium business, there's over 1,300 projects on ICN. And in the last 12 months, over 4,000 new companies have joined ICN. So that's a snowball effect for us. The more people that join ICN, obviously, the more people will list their projects. There's 81,000 companies on here now, so that's also massive. But a big chunk of those 4,000 new companies are project owners looking for suppliers that are capable of helping them out. Okay, that's a really good place. A lot of ICN is already verified and vetted that companies can do what they say they can do. Okay, so it takes a lot of the stuffing around for suppliers. Any of those numbers, apart from the $1 trillion, come through you?
They do. It's. I didn't think there was that many companies on there. Like that's pretty full on, isn't it?
It's crazy. Some people have used it their whole entire career, and other people like never heard of it in my life. One awesome thing about you guys being regional is amazing to be on ICN. The reason for that is a lot of project owners, and you'd know this, are in Sydney and Melbourne or Brisbane or wherever it may be. And when they need stuff like you're doing, they don't want to have to bring crews from Melbourne or Sydney to fix something in those areas. They want to be able to hire someone locally. It ticks a lot of boxes for the government to hire local people.
That's a big thing with the government and the tendering process that we've seen over the last 3 years. It's moved from cheapest price to not so cheapest price to percentages of how much you can bring to our community, how many people you employ through our bloody shire, all that sort of thing. So, which I 100% agree with, because there's too many blokes in my backyard working, taking my pie. And
100%.
So you know what I mean? I think they need to get that control underway, because well, at the end of the day, it's a quality thing. It's not the cheapest bloke on the block.
100%. That's the way it's always should be, but it always hasn't been. But ICN is a big part of that. I don't know how, like, you're talking about the elements, but do you know much about Australian industry participation plans?
Not really, no.
Okay, so this is where ICN really makes its worth, is that the AIP plans is Australian industry participation. It is a plan that's derived by the government. If someone comes knocking on their door and says, "Hi, Mr. Government, I need $20 million to build X, Y, Z. Can I have the funding?" They will say, "Okay, but you need to give us an AIP plan." And that's how they intend on using Australian suppliers, manufacturing, fabrication, whatever it may be, but also local area jobs, percentage of apprentices and trainees, Indigenous community, all of that is all entailed in that. And ICN is used by these companies to checkbox and vet all that information. By being a part of this and being part of the visibility side, that's where people a lot of the time get the work, because all that is stated in the background of ICN. Does that make sense? It's a I won't go too far into it, but it touches on all those points you're saying. Okay. Cool. This next slide is to show you exactly what you have access to at the moment. Okay. I know you're on Tender Search. Are you a part of any other tendering platforms like Estimate One or BCI or any of those?
I've got Estimate One. It's pretty hard to use, I reckon. And there's, I don't know they put too much responsibility on the bloke, on the subcontractor pricing the jobs. There's not enough info in, see, because a lot of my work's based off quantities and square meters and cubes and whatnot. There's none of that. They send you a plan. They expect you to do the homework for them.
And guess,
And guess. And 90% of the time, you know as well as I do, you can't guess on bloody shit like that.
No. So just to give you some background where I come from construction as well, obviously. But my job, I used to work for a commercial high-rise company doing estimating, tendering, contracts, admin, digital strategy, all that kind of stuff. And I know the perils of that all too well. And it's one of the points I'm going to bring up to here. Even on our free service, you have access to the ICN industry specialists, okay? Every single project that is on ICN has its own dedicated ICN specialist. Now, I know, just like you were saying there, that there could be one piece of information in a tender document that you need that's going to change the price of the job by 20 or 30 grand. And you can't just guess on that because it could take all the money or leave you in debt on the job.
That's exactly right.
ICN, we provide that as part of the free service for you to have access to them. Okay. You're not the first person to tell me that about Estimate One. I used to use Estimate One in my old job. I know the perils. But that's part of ICN. You also have full, fair, and reasonable access to every tender on ICN as part of the free service. Okay. A lot of the other ones like Tender Search, BCI, Cordell, all those kind of ones are more like a technology company that will like scrape the internet for every tender known to man. They'll put them in a directory and then charge you a fee to view them.
Pretty much, So we're with Tenderlink as well, Ilion's, and they, which, don't get me wrong, it is pretty good to work with, but they're pretty much doing the same as Tender Search, but I sort of need both of them because I have seen tenders on Tender Search that I haven't seen on Ilion's and vice versa, and that could be a $500,000 project that I miss out on just because I don't have a subscription. And Tenderlink actually lets you, they send you tenders from all over Australia, where Tender Search for the same price only gives me Victoria and New South Wales. So they,
I know all about it. And obviously I speak to so many people that are estimators, tenderers, all that, and they're like, mate, our subscription bill per year is more than my wife's Netflix, Paramount, or like it's the same sort of thing for their entertainment as it is for me trying to tender for work.
That's right.
I know they're not cheap either. ICN is one fee, obviously being government subsidised and not for profit. If you do go onto a paid subscription, it's one fee per year for the whole of Australia. And it's an unlimited amount of users that can use it. So if you do start to expand and you start having a team of estimators and tenderers, it's not going to cost you like the extra $40, $50 a month for additional logins like the other guys do. So we won't go on too much into that because I know that you know all about that. But obviously we've touched on the massive focus on local content. ICN really hones in on that. But also our projects consist of smaller work packages. So while our whole projects, you're not probably in a position just yet, hopefully later, to be taking on whole highway upgrades and things like that. You're probably going to be a subby or a subby to a subby. There's still going to be projects that you can tender for that are broken up into work packages that will be relevant to you, and they're really easy to apply for. Okay, usually just a couple of clicks. So there's a lot of value just in the free service. The next part we're going to talk about is if you do decide to go on paid and what the advantages are. Mostly when I talk to businesses, and you've already mentioned a couple of times, you're looking to expand, you're looking to get a bit bigger, you're trying to really be bull at a gate, trying to get your business ahead. A lot of that comes from the visibility on the paid platform. So the free version is very manual. You have to spend a lot of time tendering. You have to go through the projects quite a lot. It's very incremented. The paid subscription gives you a lot better usability in order for you to go through and execute the actions very quickly, but also you get access to the people searching for you. So the people that use the search functionality of it, there's over 2.6 million views per year now. Okay, so it's a massive amount of people. it's not where people spend their weekends hanging out. It's I'm an ICN nerd, but still I don't spend that much time here on weekends. I can tell you that. My thing is watching all the sport on KO all weekend with a few cold tins in my hand, but I'm definitely not on ICN. The 2.6 million views are people coming here for a reason. Okay, they're coming here to find suppliers that are capable of helping them out. That's a huge number. A lot of people are blown away by that, but it's awesome. It's only going to increase. It's used a lot by project owners, but also a lot of project owners not listed on Gateway. And what that means, if you've had a look around the projects on ICN, a lot of them are top end of town, 20 million to $5 billion projects. The reason they're that big on there is they have to be a certain size for us to break down into work packages and have run by a consultant. Okay. But the projects from 1 to 20 million, you would know there's more of those than anywhere else. But the project owners are still looking for suppliers. Whereas it's not run by a consultant, but they may still come to the consultant and say, hey, I need 10 guys to do civil work in this area. Can you give me their details? That's where they'll pass on the details, even on free like you're on now. But when people are searching, the guys in Melbourne, Sydney, all over the place are searching for people in those areas is where you'll get found in the visibility. Okay. It's also at all stages of the project life cycle. And now this, for me, when I talk to guys like you, the dollar signs start appearing. The reason for that, yes, it's a lot to do with the design and construction, design and consulting and land purchase side, but then it moves into the whole construction phase, which you can be a part of. But the ongoing maintenance of a project once it's finished is a massive, massive project to be able to get. And you would know that from your Fulton Hogan days, right? So the maintenance divisions of Fulton Hogan, it's like they build their roads to break up after 12 months so they get to go back and fix them.
That's right.
It's like when you buy a washing machine, you'd swear it runs out the day after, breaks the day after the warranty finishes. But
100%.
Being able to be considered for those packages once a project is finished can be life-changing for a lot of businesses. To give you an example, we worked with a guy who was a mowing contractor in Roma. I don't know if you know where Roma is, Western Queensland. Absolute dump. He was a mowing contractor. Not much grass in Roma most of the time. But he heard of all these solar farms and wind farms popping up out that way. And he got on ICN and contacted some guys and ended up with the maintenance contracts to mow these solar farms and wind farms and maintain them. And his business has gone from a 50 grand turnover a year to over 500K in 12 months. He's bought new mowers, slasher combos. He's even bought a robotic mower. It's crazy. It's GPS controlled, so it doesn't hit the solar panels. There's no human error. It's ridiculous. Cost him 150 grand, but this solar farms contract was worth it to him. And now he's mowing the Oki Air Base out there as well. So there is opportunity massive for these upgoing the maintenance contracts afterwards. Cool. I'm not going to talk to you about this. I'm going to show you the next 2 points as we go through. But the visibility is where it's at. I know you've never really looked into ICN before, but I'm going to show you where the visibility is at and where people are having success. Any questions?
No, not at the minute, no.
I'm talking a lot, but I get excited talking to guys like
that. No, I like it. I'd rather you. I'm keeping up with you, which is good. So
sweet. Must have made it. I'm actually doing my job properly for once, eh? All right. How ICN can help you grow. You can brush over this while I talk, but there's a fair bit that happens on the paid subscriptions and how many search interactions and everything like that. We track it all. What I did in the lead up to this is went through, got some stats around people on premium subscriptions and how much traction they're actually getting from the visibility side a day. Those keywords I went through, they're appearing in over 65 searches a day. So that's how often they're coming up in a search. And clicks per day are how many people are going to their profile a day, which is 39 on average across the top 10, which is pretty huge. It's a lot of visibility for business owners, but it definitely gives you priority position on the searches as well, being on premium. So those kinds of numbers, your other tendering platforms don't have this service. They don't have the ability for people to search for you. It's only you doing the work. Okay. So you're pretty much getting two services in one using ICN. Do you reckon those sorts of numbers would start getting your phone to ring a little bit more?
Oh, I don't want it to ring anymore, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You could get these crews running up quicker. I reckon that's right. What you really want to do.
Yeah, that's right. But
hire someone to answer your phone for you, mate.
Oh, I'll pay him $500,000 to do that too.
Yeah, the days of my phone working in the construction high rise and stuff used to start ringing at 4:30 in the morning and finish ringing at about 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
All the builders would get home and do their paperwork at night time and then need to know answers. You're like, mate.
Like, come on, dude.
I've got a baby here for trying to sleep. All right. So that's pretty much the education piece around it. What we're going to do now is jump onto the actual gateway side of things. I want to give you guys some. Do you know these guys, Riverina Stabilizers?
Yeah, I do a fair bit with Aaron. Aaron actually, he subbed to me in December. I did a big project for S&R Engineering out of Bendigo, subdivision up there. I couldn't get to it, so I subbed my work out to Aaron himself, and he came up and smashed it out. So bit of a partnership with him. Yeah, he's a good bloke.
Well, he's a premium member on ICN.
Yeah,
I actually spoke to him. I spoke to him for ages about this, and he ended up joining up to the premium because he saw the benefits and the visibility on it.
Yeah.
This is what a premium profile looks like. Okay. Yep. So basically, it's an online landing page that's industry specific.
Yeah.
It's got a blurb about yourself. I'm sure that you can put in a lot of your machinery and stuff here as well. But then you've got photos of what it is that you do. There might be photos of your job here somewhere. Who knows?
It might be.
But yeah, there's some photos, the products and services that he has, and he hasn't got them here yet, but there's accreditations that normally get listed under here as well. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yep.
There's the ability for people to call and email you direct. So when I do this, like this presentation for people who are on the other side of the fence, the guys who are hiring you, the tendering guys, cadets, project owners, procurement, I ask them what's their process in choosing a supplier, and they type in what they need. They go to the area that they need. But the last thing they want to do is go to your website, click on the contact us form, fill out a contact us form, send it off, wait for you to reply, then send the tender documents. They just want to get like 10 people they know that can help them, send the inquiry, request for quote, request for information. That's where the contact details really hit home on the premium subscriptions.
Yeah.
You could call Aaron and see what he thinks of this afterwards as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
See what he reckons. But all in all, it's a pretty good setup and what these look like. But what I want to just show you of what we need to update on here. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep.
I've got another screen up here. I'm not just looking into the Discord and talk to you. I'm not just looking out the window, seeing what's happening.
You're right.
There is just one thing I want to show you how to do on your profile.
Yep.
So what you've got written in there so far is pretty just copy and paste from your website, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What you put in there, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, the only people that are seeing this at the moment is people like me or the ICN industry specialists.
Yep.
If you do go to paid, we'll spend some more time optimizing your profile. We actually help you with that, like we've done for Aaron there, made it all formatted nice. But if you go through into products and services, if you do join up to paid, you need to spend some time in and around this. This is ICN stuff, not yours. But at the moment, all you put in here was these things here. Give me 2 seconds. Basically, that's great in what you've got in there, but this is the algorithm for the search. Okay.
Yes.
So it's great you've listed the one per line, but you've got 10,000 characters here to use. Okay.
Yeah.
So go to town in there with all the industries you can serve, all the industries you want to serve. Things like putting renewables, oil and gas, natural gas, coal sink, all those big industries that are in regional Victoria. Definitely put them in as keywords, because if someone is searching for anyone that can help them with those industries, you want to be appearing as well. Okay. That's probably the only tip I need to give you with your current one. Okay. You're doing pretty well with how you got it set up. It's all 100%. And yeah, you're doing all right so far. How you've got all your facilities as well into here. You've got graders, skid steers, rollers, excavators, tippers. Have you got any of those? I don't even know what you call them. I suppose they're just stabilizing machines that Aaron's got.
I do, yeah. I got one, yeah.
Yeah. You can put all that sort of stuff in there. Pretty.
Yeah.
The reason for that is when someone goes through the back end on this other system here, they want to know that you're capable of doing it. If they see that you have 1 4-ton dump truck or something like that, they're probably not going to hire you to do a massive upgrade. Whereas if they go through those equipment and think, yeah, boom, he can definitely help me. As you grow, definitely keep filling that out as well. Okay.
Perfect.
Sweet. Other than that, you've done really well in getting all this up to date. Okay, so nothing really we need to cover off. But I'm going to show you around how to look for projects and how I think you can use it. Okay, so in the top right hand side of the dashboard every time, this is the search functionality. So you've got projects or suppliers, whichever way you want to do it. I'm just going to search for stabilization and see what happens. I don't even know what will come up with this, but so this will tell you that there's 2 projects on the go at the moment. They're both in WA, but in here as well, there's all sorts of. This is exactly what you want to do, right? This kind of stuff. This is Victoria. So, do you know anything about this project?
Oh, I do to a certain degree. Yeah, I know where it is. Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen it. Only new. So this is a project overview. When you go into start looking around for projects, what will happen is it will give you all of this information here about the project, what's going to happen. Okay. There's a ton of info there. Then it's also got basically everything else. When you get to here, it will say that Riverina Rail and Dujang, is that how you spell it? Dujang?
Yeah, Durang, I think it's called,
That's the tier 1, tier 2, whoever it might be that's been awarded that total job. But under here, it's in the design and early works at the moment, so it's not construction. But these guys here and these contact details are the ICN industry specialists that I was talking about before. So if you need any further information about this project, this is who you would contact. But also, staying front of house and front of mind with these guys is vitally important in getting more work. Okay. So this is why we harp on about capability statements so much. I know, was it Declan or Will that spoke to you? Declan, Scottish guy?
It was him, See, that's a question. So, because we're looking at getting there, because I've been contacted by a few bigger clients to do a bit of a collab with them, and they're asking for, in the future, for capability statements. Who would you suggest to go with to sort of get one written up about us?
Well, that's what I was saying before, is now that's something we actually offer to help you.
Righto.
So capability statements are great for using within ICN, but there was also so much outside of ICN. The fact you're being asked for them, it won't be the first or last time you get asked for them. I can definitely talk to you a bit more about the capability statement after this little demo here.
That'd be good.
There's a lot of capability statement can help. It's basically the resume for your business. And the golden ticket for someone to pick you up and then Google you and find out more. Okay.
That's right, because they're asking big bucks to get in internet nerd to come and fill one out for me, pretty much. You know what I mean? So Have
you had some quotes for them so far?
There was. I can't remember what company they were. There was some company in the territory. It was $3,200 or something to get done.
That's not bad. To be honest, capability statements it depends what's included in the package, whether they write all the copywriting or whether you give them the information, whether you provide the graphic design or not. But in all my experience talking to people every day about capability statements, when people pay $1,200 to $1,500, it's basically someone designing it in their home computer and emailing you a PDF. There's no real research or anything involved. The average, I would say, is between $3,500 and $4,500, depending on how many pages. But I've seen them even to $10,000, $11,000 for a capability statement. So it all depends. We do them price on application. Basically, we go through, find out your needs, what it is that we can help you with. I'll show you some examples of ones I've done for civil companies. They're absolutely mint. But yeah, 3,200 is not all that bad, depending on what's in there. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Also, you got to look at it as an investment for you. If that wins you one contract, let alone 3 or 4,
it's going to pay itself off pretty quick. Yeah.
And it's not something that's going to only last 4 months, 5 months.
That's right.
It's basically setting your business up on your digital journey going forward. So, and these guys here, you can imagine that these guys are like when you hire someone, right? And you get 100 resumes back for one job.
Yeah.
These guys would get 100 emails about each job as well. It's the ones that look and present the best that get picked out of the pile. They tell us it.
That's right. Makes their job easier at the end of the day.
And you know, for your own inbox, if you're going through your emails today, you've got a catch-up day. You are more likely to open a PDF than you are to read an email. 100%, 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
People can write the most amazing blurb about themselves in an email and say, "We are the person to help you with this job."
Yeah.
And half the time it doesn't get read. If you put it in a PDF that's pretty pictures and everything like that, people get a lot more engagement. And it's just, it is a necessity in project work these days. It really is. So if you're looking to get it done, we can definitely help you with that, and I'll price it up for you and stuff like that. That's no worries. Okay. Cool. All right. This is the project side, but what I wanted to show you is the work packages. So anything you need about a project can come from these guys. Okay. But in the work packages, so see at the top, there's different tabs. So basically what will happen is down here, this is something you could probably eventually get into if you need to. But all of these are the work packages that have been, here you go. So this is you as well. There's a lot that you could probably do. And then earthworks, this kind of stuff. You could be applying for all of these. So when you go through all of these, open means they're open for you to express interest. Then they go to close, which means they're closed for expressing interest. They're waiting to be awarded. And then after that, they will turn to orange, which means they have been awarded. Okay. There's a lot in here, like even the asphalt stuff like that is all stuff eventually down the road. That this is a huge project, by the way. There's a lot happening in here.
It's huge. Yeah. What's the what about feedback from the client that you have expressed? Like, if you've done an expression of interest, how does that work? Like, can you contact them for feedback?
Yeah, so a lot of the time that is purely through the ICN consultant.
So
they're the one in charge. Like, so these guys work for ICN, okay? And these guys have been entrusted by Jajang or Riverina Regional to run all the suppliers and procurement for that job, okay? So any further information you need about that or follow-ups or feedback comes from these guys. If you're successful in the EOI and getting to tender for the bigger project, then the Jang will be in contact after that.
Because I had a subscription with Felix, or whatever they used to be called.
And
their system was pathetic with feedback. Like, I put in for multiple jobs, and I reckon over 100 jobs that I put in for, I got 2 emails to say, "Oh, you weren't successful," or "You have got it," or "You should have done this."
That is a forever evolving part of ICN. I'm obviously on the coalface talking to you guys all the time, but it's something ICN never used to do well. They're getting a lot better at it, but that's because of our feedback. You definitely get emails saying your EOI has progressed to the next stage. You get contacted by the awarded. They're only just now starting to send emails saying you were unsuccessful. They don't. We're asking them to then put in why. There's a lot of approvals. Obviously, government platform. There's 50 bits of red tape involved in this, but it's definitely coming, and the feedback will be better as we go, for sure.
100%. Yeah, because that sort of, that well, I ended my subscription with Felix because it was just the platform was shit in that way because they got me money and ran pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you do come onto a paid member, I'm your customer care person for the year. So I've obviously got a fair few customers. Aaron's one of them. But at the end of the day, we try and help as much as possible. ICN's core is helping Australian businesses win more work. If I can help you do that, I'm obviously pretty passionate about helping Aussie businesses a lot. But helping businesses do that. You can, if you're not getting the feedback from these guys, the consultants, you can always reach out to me and I can take the other avenues and do that for you as well. So
it's not like I'm asking for feedback over every single contract because I know you can't win them all and I don't want to do it all, you know what I mean? But say 7 out of 10 expression of interest, you'd want some sort of, you're slightly bit boring on this part, or you should have done this a bit better, or whatever, because it obviously makes our company evolve a bit better in selling ourselves.
Yep. And if they told you, you didn't have a capability statement 6 months ago, you'd probably have one by now.
That's right, 100%, 100%.
Yeah,
exactly right.
In the EOIs, I'm just going to let you know this from the very start. The first EOI you do will be a pain in the bum. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason for that is it will ask you for all the information that the big companies want. After that, though, the second, third, fourth, any further information, it pulls it across to the next one automatically for you. Okay. So you'll get to the point where an expression of interest will take you 10 to 15 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes or even less than that. But the first one's going to be a mission. Okay. Don't think doing the first one, hitting your head against the wall, thinking, why am I doing this? Because it will get better, I promise. Okay. All right. So what I want to do, you can have a play on these EOIs. I can't go into them myself because I work for ICN. They don't want ICN staff applying for wet hire rail plant. What I want to do is show you when they do get awarded. Okay. Now, if you are on paid, if you're on premium, when they start to be awarded, it will actually notify you via email that these have been awarded as well. This can be good for 2 reasons. It can be good if your opposition win them, you can find out who it was and you can find out why. If you are the incumbent supplier of someone and suddenly they give the job to someone else, it gives you the ammo to go there and ask why. But also it's a great business development tool in the fact that if a bigger civil operation like Fulton Hogan or let's say Shamrock or whoever the other big companies are in regional New South Wales and Victoria, if they win it, you can then contact them to subby for them. Okay, so I'm going to give you this as an example. See how they've turned to orange on the side, on the right-hand side? So if you click on this plus sign, it will actually tell you the name and company of the person who won that part of the job.
Yeah, righto.
So that's a great tool to call them up and say, hey, Gareth, Glenn here, just noticed you won that contract in ICN. I see you guys are located in Queensland. Instead of bringing all your gear from Queensland to here, I can help you out with X, Y, Z. Can I send you some information? Yeah, mate. And that's when you send your capability statement again. That kind of business development can really help throughout these as well. Okay. So, for you to do that, you're not on paid at the moment, but if you do go on paid, the advanced search here, you can actually go through and search. I'm just going to put civil in here, for instance. You can actually search by state, Victoria. What region are you again?
Central, like Bendigo, which is pretty much central. What would that be? Lodd and Mallee, probably sort of closer to us,
Anyway, let's just put in here, but you can actually filter it down to awarded projects. Okay. This will give you a list of all the projects that have been awarded recently. And then you can go into this kind of stuff and find out who's been awarded what. Okay. Even if you put in highway upgrades or whatever it may be that you're after, you can then go in and see who it was being awarded to. Okay.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you can really use it for business development, which you seem like a bit of a go-getter, and you'd probably spend some time on that. You got to remember that projects on ICN are a long burn too. They're not apply today, win work tomorrow. So it's a case, especially on the big infrastructure projects and highway upgrades, that it can take 2 years to start working on them. So
100%. Yeah.
It's be applying for them all the time. As my dad says, bite off more than you can chew, and then chew like you know what. But exactly. You can say that, I can't. But I wish. Anyway, we are now going to move on to the suppliers and how people can find you. So ideally, if there was a project manager or a project officer looking for you, what would you want them to search to bring you up?
Probably more pavement construction, I reckon.
Yeah. I even spelt it right first go. Jesus.
That's the go.
I do a lot of these demos. My fingers and brain stop working after a while. So everything's controlled by this map on the side. But this search functionality here is where I was saying before, there's over 2.6 million views coming through here.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot happening. Is this one of your oppositions, Highway Stabilising?
To a degree, I get on pretty well with Mark Fissell. He's the sort of the boss dog of Australia.
Okay.
Done a fair bit of work with him when I was with FH.
There's your mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those multi. So basically, these are the premium subscriptions at the top, right? So in this whole area, we would want you coming up in the top here somewhere. If we move over to here, you'll see Aaron come up here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But Stabilised Payments of Australia, you know these guys, New South Wales.
Yeah, I had a job with him when I was with Fulton Hogan and sort of knocked it back. Didn't really weren't offering the coin.
Yeah, fair enough. So this is what a lower level of subscription looks like. This is a $600 a year profile. So what the differences are here, obviously straight away, it's not as visual. It's not giving people an idea of what you do. No. Number two, you can't have your accreditations at the bottom. Sure, you can have products and services, but it doesn't have the contact us and the email functionality. For me, you saw how far I had to go down as well to find these, you know? Pretty much like being at the third or fourth page of Google. You're not even in the race a lot of the time. People are more looking to ones like this. So this is Highway. Again, very similar to Aaron's, but this is nothing that you couldn't have here. Okay. Products and services. Here's the accreditation as well. Okay. So if a project manager is looking for certain certification, they're going to look here to have that. Fulton Hogan, obviously, but you'll also see that even though these guys might not have a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign like Fulton Hogan does, they appear on ICN side by side and they look exactly the same.
They do.
It's all about that fair and reasonable piece, okay? We don't want companies winning millions of dollars worth of work just because they've got a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign. It's all about being fair and reasonable to our members, okay? And like I said, we'll actually help you with this profile and optimize it for you, okay? So you can see they're all set out in the same way. It just comes down to A, location, B, your name, and C, your capability in what you want to do, okay? So, the visibility side is where you get the value out of ICN. The one you're on currently, sure, it's great for tendering and lodging expression of interest. But if you want the people coming back to you, pretty much this is doing the job in the background. Premium is the way to go. It's as simple as that. That's a loud bing on your phone, by the way. It must be right near the laptop speaker.
It is. It's right next to it.
I was like, what? It's pretty crazy. But it's obviously, there's a lot more I can show you. But what I want to do now is quickly run through some stuff around the capability statement for you. And how we have it. Have you got any questions about this side? What's your thoughts about premium?
It's pretty self-explanatory. No, it looks a lot easier than other platforms that I've used in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been designed for user experience. We know in talking to people, I talk to some guys that are just like, all they've done is be the digger driver their whole life, right?
Yeah.
And they hate the other platforms. They're like, oh, there's clicking everywhere and it doesn't look good and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. What I'm just going to do is quickly bring up this other quick deck to go through with you, and then we'll be done and dusted.
Yep.
There's a capability statement one. Here we go. It's a lot easier to go through when it's visual. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
All right. So, have you ever seen examples or know what you're up against with capability statements?
Not really. No.
Okay. I'll show you some examples as we go through of ones that we've done and other ones of what pretty much you're up against. But you know the reasons. You've got people asking you for them. But the main reason for us is to take everything everyone knows about you and your old man word of mouth, and how you probably get a lot of your work is the reputation and the groundwork you've done. But what you want to do is take all of that experience and put it into a document where anyone who doesn't know you know that you are the person for that job straight away. Okay. So
perfect.
In doing this with businesses and hearing that people need these capability statements or not knowing what they are, we formulated a partnership. So ICN did a lot of the due diligence, went through, there's obviously thousands of digital agencies in Australia. They pretty much chose a digital agency that can help you guys the best and purely deal with blue collar. Okay. So Ionics is the digital partner in Brisbane. These guys, obviously you can see they're working with some pretty massive contractors.
Oh yeah.
They write custom software solutions for a lot of these guys. They have apps, they have all sorts of stuff, but they really want to help Aussie businesses the same as you, blue collar, get into these bigger businesses. And they also know exactly what it takes to get into working with these guys because they've done it themselves. Okay. So really, you can imagine the groundwork that went into choosing this with the partnership. It was a couple of years of development, but choosing these guys to help really led us down this path. So you are a pretty good example of a three-legged chair. This is a cool analogy, but don't be offended. No, you've obviously got great business relationships. You've got a great track record. To get where you guys are in 4 years is pretty astounding. I was loving researching you guys this morning. And you've obviously got the skills and capability to take on this kind of work. But a lot of the time, the part that's missing for you guys is the professional presentation to showcase those strengths.
Totally.
So it's a crazy analogy, but it just seems to work, and it resonates with a lot of people that they haven't got that vital document to take themselves to the next level. You can't always rely on the relationships you've always got. It's all about finding new ones at the same time.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
We obviously talk to a lot of tendering managers and project managers throughout our job. This is from a national defense contractor basically saying, you don't have a good capability statement, you're going to get lost in the crowd. Okay. It's all about being noticed and being picked out of the pile. It rings true to that thing I said about the resumes before as well. There's hundreds of expressions of interest. Okay. What do we find makes the best capability statements? So for us, number one, primo thing is having your copywriting written for you. You guys, if your old man's anything like my old man, could write an encyclopedia of their knowledge on how to build a road. But it's all about communicating that to someone who doesn't really want to know the intricacies, just saying that you are the best person to build that road. I'm sure your old man and my old man would be very similar. So Ionics have a team of copywriters that work at Ionics. They have over 25 years of journalist experience. They are unbelievable at what they do. But the process is you sit down in an interview with them, and they interview like it was for the paper or a TV ad. And then they take everything that you say and produce it into copywriting that can be used across your business. Okay. That service alone is probably what separates a lot of the custom capability statements around. A lot of people ask you to write that for them, It takes a lot of time for you to do it. You've got better things to do. And
That's
B, you may not come out with the same result because you talk in jargon and industry speak rather than talking to the customer. Okay.
Yeah.
The other things are in here, less is more. So obviously an image can say 1,000 words, but we want to make sure everything is graphically designed on point. We use a mix of your photos and stock photos to make sure it really pops. All the imagery talks to exactly what you're trying to say. So you can see there, it's not just pages and pages of text. There are heaps of photos involved. With this, when you are tendering against other competitors, you've got a fair few, and people, as you said before, are coming into your backyard and stealing your bits of the pie. There's a fair bit there that I reckon we can eliminate with something like this. It is your first chance to stand out and impress to these guys. So I want to show you a before and after of a different kind of industry, but you'll get the idea. The before and after, basically, this is a company that I helped do the same kind of demo with you guys. They sent me their capability statement, and I was like, well, what made you make your capability statement like this? And they said, we saw someone else's and we just sort of copied it. And I was like, sweet, but they were having troubles getting through the gates in tenders, even though they were one of the best people in Perth to do this HB work. They weren't getting through the tendering stage, and a lot of it had to do with this, and they just didn't realize what else was out there. Basically, we took them through this process. We gave them the copywriting, we gave them the graphic design, and this is what came out with. So they wanted to keep their logo. That's fine. We can also redesign that if that's something you want to do. You're only 4 years in, so you're probably not looking at that just yet. But
every 6 months we go, we might change it.
It's all about then re-sign writing all your vehicles as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think the bigger thing is every winter when we order a new batch of hoodies, we like to get different logos put on there. So
nice. Yeah, it's good. I'll have one of those hoodies. I love a good hoodie. I can't wear them to work though. Aaron would see me in your hoodie and be blowing up.
Self the bloody bastard.
That's right. So basically, this goes down the page. It's very clear. The imaging is all really clear. It gives you taglines of what really projects to people. Going through all the photos, really give them an indication. The services they provide are all linked via photos. Some really good industry-specific wording here. Going through the industries they can serve, you'd have a few of these that you could use as well. And then obviously your accreditations are important. And then companies you work for. One thing definitely to put in here as well is testimonials or case studies. If you get a major supervisor from Fulton Hogan to say, these guys took on my project, they project manage it them wholesales, they saved me 50 hours of my time by doing it properly first go, we would recommend them. That's way more powerful than just a logo on a page, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So that kind of stuff, we will help you get your case studies and testimonials out of people as well. It's something, obviously, we've got the experience in doing. You can see how much different this is. And if you were a tendering manager or project owner and you had both those appear in your inbox, which one are you going to pick up? It's a very easy choice, all in all, it's pretty impressive with what they do. And they're way more graphically design inclined than I am, that's for sure. So how do other people use their capability statement? Now, I know you've been asked by guys for yours, but it isn't just a document for tendering and expressions of interest. There are so many other uses, and a lot of people don't realize. You can use it in business development, like I said before, with those awarded projects, approaching people, check out our capability statement, sending it to other companies like Aaron, or if you're trying to enter a JV or partnership with somebody, having a really well-documented document can help with that. The professional design and copywriting can then be used into your website and a lot of SEO strategy, lifting your authority score with the words that are used and the keywords that are put throughout your copy will automatically help lift that up on Google authority. So I don't know how much you concentrate on SEO and Google authority. Is there much that you spend on that, or?
Oh, not really. No, it's sort of that's a bit beyond me.
Yeah, that's
to be
fine.
honest. Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into the whole technical side of that.
Yeah.
We can talk about that down the line if you ever look at digital marketing and that kind of stuff. But basically, the whole of Google runs on an authority score out of 100. That's how well put together your whole website is and how clean it runs and all this sort of stuff. And that will then generate where you appear in the Google search. Okay?
Yeah, right. Yep.
By having professional design and copywriting that you use then in your website can help lift that score.
Yeah, right. Yep.
The other thing we want to do is make sure that it's downloadable on your website. Yep. The reason for that is people, if they go into your website and click on your capability statement, you want to know who that is. You want that to be a lead magnet for you so that in two days' time or whatever, you can say, hey, we noticed you contacted us and got through to our capability statement. What did you think and what did you need us for? You know, you want to capture that information because if they're interested enough to download your capability statement, they want you to do something for them. Okay,
that's right. Because we in the last 12 months we've sort of got our ISOs for OH&S and environmental and quality.
Have you got them now?
Yeah, we've already got them. Yeah,
that's awesome, mate. Honestly,
and it is a big. It's cost a lot of money, but it's a pimple on a bull's bum. But with our management program, there's actually a part in there where if we send a tender off, whether we win it or not, we can send this little link to the project manager or superintendent, and he can fill it out as feedback. Yep. And at the minute we're about to get audited for our 2-yearly bloody thing, however they do it, just to make sure you're on track. Yeah. And she said, this year I want you to get feedback on 90% of your tenders that you put in for, not only 1 or 2. I said, well, fair enough. And in one way, I thought, that's stupid. I don't have time to do that. But then in another, I was like, well, it's constructive criticism, isn't it, really?
100%. If you don't know, you don't know.
That's right. That's 100%. Yeah. So I think what we're talking about right now is sort of, it's been in the back of my mind over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Because of clients ask me for these capability statements, but I didn't know enough about it.
Yeah.
And you've covered a fair bit of what I'm wanting to hear, and it's helped out a lot.
Yeah, look, the process of going through all of this for us, we do probably 6 or 7 of these a week, I would say, that I send off. The process has been very well rounded. It's very easy. We know people like you. I've heard your phone going the whole time. You don't have time to just spend hours building this yourself. And when people do try to do it themselves, they don't get the result they want. They're always like, I should have just got Glenn to do it. And then they pay the money and we do it anyway.
Yeah.
But quad charts, I'm just going to quickly touch on these. These are like a 1-page capability statement. They're used mainly in defense, but they can be used in brochures and things like that as well. Basically, it's a really well-written document. We do them as a double up with a capability statement. This is a before and after of a quad chart. Basically, it means 4 sections. This was an engineering firm we helped out. Basically, they were saying, well, we really need help with this to really get up. So you can see that they're ISO certified as well, but it's not very well prominent on there. But this is what the graphic design partner then put it into. All right.
Yeah. So again, same mob as I am. Equal Assurance. Does that say?
Yeah.
That's who we're accredited through.
Okay, sweet. That's good. Like for I'm not going to say you guys are small, but for a smaller business to have that certification is mind blowing. It's good. You've obviously spent a lot of time doing that. I know the pain from talking to people about how long it can take. So
and that's right. A big thing. It was because of me Fulton Hogan days. We had everything had to be dotted and I'd, and there was ITPs on this and that and whatever. But it covered me ass at the end of the day because I managed bloody 40 blokes.
Yeah.
And I was working there, and it's like going to kindergarten and teaching kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's all about how you're telling people as well, because I did a fair bit of research into you guys this morning. I couldn't really find too much about the fact you're ISO qualified. We'll make a big deal about that on your capability statement, because a team like Ionics, and knowing the industries that people have to get into, they make a big song and dance about it, because it's what everyone wants to know straight away.
Okay? I think moving forward in like our logos and whatnot on our trucks and on our website, and I want to get them ISO accreditations in the logo somewhere.
For sure. Yeah. Even if it's underneath or something like that, just the color map of how they do them, even that sort of stuff can help. We've done that sort of stuff and helping people rebrand. Obviously, we help people with websites and everything like that as well. We always find the first part of a digital journey is through going through the capability statement first. I'll quickly show you what we feel are the right steps to take in that. I'll just quickly show you. I should bring it up here. Here we go. So obviously we know as well, working with a lot of these businesses, that they don't have a marketing campaign that's 50 grand slush fund sitting in the bank ready to drop on a full digital suite. So we encourage people to do ICN first, then capability statement. The reason the capability statement is we start with the colors, the branding, the copywriting. It's all start of a massive big branch out. Then we get all your social media profiles intact, and then move into things like landing pages and websites. But we want to see the ROI, return on investment, coming from this before moving into this. This could be a 2-year or 3-year plan with Ionics. They don't expect you to cough up 50 grand or whatever it may be for the whole entire lot. This can all be a process. Okay. It really comes down to how you want to go about it. But I just want to show you a civil one that they recently just finished, and I reckon it's bloody awesome. So I'm going to show it to you. There you go. So this is a civil earthworks company. Basically went through company overview. They chose all their colors. They chose everything that they wanted to have in here. But you can see it's very clear, everything links back. There's not tons and tons of text and what they're doing. The services they provide, this, and this. This is what they do. Industries that they serve. Accreditation and expertise. The people they're working with, the clients and how they help them, and then the contact details. It's very clean, very clear in what they do, but it's not just pages and pages of junk. Okay. So can you see how something like that would help you guys going forward?
Yeah, definitely.
So
this is my old man Darren.
Oh, hey Darren, how are you, mate?
How you going, mate?
Not bad. Yes, you are just like my dad, whether we like to admit it or not. I've been telling the whole time, I'm the son of a civil earthworks contractor as well, so I know that life all the way through. We're just talking about a capability statement and showing you some examples of capability statements and what people are expecting to see when you're applying with capability statements these days. We've just been going over a few things and how it's going to help your business and what ICN does to help other businesses as well. ICN now has a whole section that is helping businesses go to the next level when they're trying to get into these other businesses as well. So, there's a lot to go over. Dylan's pretty involved in all of that side of the business, I'm guessing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You just let him run with all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, let him go. Yeah, like he loves it. He loves it. So.
He's doing a good job. What you guys have managed to achieve in 4 years is pretty mind-altering. So,
it is.
Compared to other people I talk to on here, they're like, "Yeah, we've been trying to get these ISOs for like 6 years," and I'm like, "Oh my god." So it's obviously a bit of a pain, but we also know what to expect and what the companies like BHP, Rio that I was showing you, the digital partnership work with. They know what these guys expect when you're presenting a tender to them as well. So the first real point of it is a capability statement and really getting through to these guys. So I was just showing Dylan before. Basically, these are before and afters of different ones that we've done for people. This was their original one that they produced to us, and then this is what we've transformed it into to helping people present a lot better. I've been going over the advantages, but I just want to, if you're there quickly, I'll just show you. This is basically what a company sent to us to say, we're not getting any work. We don't know what it is that's not working for us. They're pretty much the most qualified HV company in Perth, but they didn't know what they were up against when tendering for work or trying to get themselves out of there. We went through and did the capability statement with these guys, and then basically got it all copywritten by a professional copywriter. They sat down for an hour with an interview with them, basically took in all the information and presented it in really clear and succinct language that people who don't necessarily work in day out in that field would still understand what they do, and went through and projected everything into far better setup than what they were using before. Basically that's where we're at with Dylan and going through the process and what ICN has with these guys. So the process for us is basically I would capture a project brief with you guys, go through, obviously I've spent the most amount of time with you guys, so basically I'd hand that off to Ionics. After that, they would then set up your copywriting meeting. So it's an hour of your time where you sit down with the copywriters, go through all the questions and get the right information, make sure the copy is to the highest standard. The guys are Australian copywriters too. It's not like you're using overseas people to write stuff about Aussie stuff like some companies do. You then get to meet with your design team. So that's coming up with all your colors, branding, everything to make sure it's bang on point for what you guys want. And then they go to work. So you guys only have involvement for that. You would then get to review what they do for you. If you hate it, they'll chuck it out the first time and go again. But if you love it and only need to make some tweaks, they'll fix those and then you get to use it from there. Okay. So super easy process from here. What you get out of it, you obviously get to partner with a premier blue collar digital agency and the ICN brand, professional copywriting, professional graphic design, and all your edits and meetings. There's no additional charges to all of this. Normally for non-ICN members, it's $5K, but for ICN members, it's $3,500, or you can pay it off in installments at $350 a month. And then if you want the quad chart involved as well, they'll do it as a bundle for $5K for the two. But for you guys and what Dylan and I have been over in the last hour, it's all about the capability statement for you guys at the moment, for sure. So, if that's something you guys want to kick off with, I can organise the payment or whatever on how you guys want to do it, and then organise a time to meet up to do your project brief.
Okay.
Yeah, righto. Yep.
So, is that something you want to start the process on, Dylan, or?
I reckon if you don't mind, because obviously Mum's pretty involved with the digital side of things.
Yeah.
Because the drama that we have with Mum, she sort of doesn't know what we do.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
But she's trying
to help. That's been the plan all along. I know that's been the. Yeah. That's right. Stay out of it. I don't want you to know I'm on the golf course by 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's right. So what I'd like is to have, well, not this same exact meeting that me and you have just had, but like to explain to her the capability side of things.
Yeah.
I reckon, and then get her head around it as well, because she's just going to go, what's this for? We're not buying this bullshit, blah, 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 blah. She's going to carry on. But if we explain to her, if you explain to her, Glenn, of why we should have it, this is the process that's going to make her feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I can take her through this capability statement part. I reckon you've got your head around the ICN stuff for now. But to go over this with your mum would only take 20 minutes tops. Yeah. I know she's got her questions. Obviously, I do this for companies day in, day out, so I'm happy to go over it with her.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, when you said you've had quotes already for 3,200, it's a pretty ballpark figure.
It is,
For you guys not having any of your copy or anything written at the moment, and not having anything to base it off, normally it would be a bit more than that, but I'm happy to do this for you guys for the 3,500. When would be a good chance to chat to your mum? Obviously, you got to go talk to her first, but
yeah, well, I'll give her a phone call after we're finished, Glenn. And did you send your phone number through to me?
I will send it through. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can do that.
And then I'll talk to her after this, and then organise a time with her.
Yeah, I've got some time at 3 p.m. today, just so you know. I know you've got a wet weather day today as well, so I've got one more demo after lunch, and then I've got some free time. So if she's happy to jump on at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that, that could be really good.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you through our email and ring her as well and tell her that you're going to contact her.
Yeah.
And it should work for 3 p.m. I'll just double check and go from there.
Sweet as, Obviously, like I've said several times throughout today, ICN is all about helping Aussie businesses win more work. It's what we're trying to do, and why we're trying to keep people, like you said, out of your backyard that are big multinationals and helping small to medium businesses ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll get there, but that's enough for now. I'm sure that you've got a lot to concentrate on after I've just burned an hour of your time, but I'm sure it's pretty valuable at the same time.
Yeah, no, it was good.
You'll get a survey about the ICN call after this as well. If you can return that, that would be awesome. It just helps the guys in Canberra improve these. Mention the feedback in there, like we talked about. You'd like more feedback around tenders. That would be cool. But other than that, I'll wait to hear back from you guys around your mum. I'll send you the email in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, do that, and then I'll get her on board, and if she can hit it up at 3 o'clock the Savo, that'll be good.
Perfect. Might as well get it done while you've got the the rain outside, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. We'll let you smash some lunch and we'll chat soon.
No worries. Thanks, Glenn.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Dylan. Nice to meet you guys.
See you, mate.
Good, mate.